The arena suddenly boomed with the sound of a vicious strike, shaking everyone to their core. In the ensuing chaos, a fiery leopard, its eyes burning with rage, lunged towards Shang, who was still recovering on the ground. "Lily!" Shang cried out, her voice a mix of surprise and pain as her own beast leaped to intercept. With golden swords blazing, Lily fiercely met the attack head-on. The leopard's flaming tail whipped through the air with a sharp whoosh, lashing out violently in return. "Jean, get up!" Yongchen shouted as he rushed forward in a panic as he saw the beast bearing down on his friend. Zhang's eyes went wide with shock, a startled gasp escaping her lips. Just as the enraged leopard was about to strike, a violent wave of crimson energy exploded from Lily, who bravely shielded both Zhang and Yongchen from the blast. Straining against the frenzied beast, Lily called out, "Yongchen, I need your help. It's too much for me alone." A look of confidence washed over Yongchen. He turned to her and declared, "All right, we'll fight it together. Just follow my lead." Zhang watched, a little flustered but impressed, as Yongchen took command. The leopard let out a furious scream, its body swirling with a wild, chaotic red energy. "Something's wrong with it," Lily declared, her glowing sword at the ready. "It's like it has completely lost its mind." Beside her, Fizz, in her sleek, stank form, coiled, ready for battle. A look of worry crossed Chung's face as realization dawned. "This is my fault," she said, her expression hardening with resolve. "That leopard went berserk because of our fight earlier. We have to help them." "Fizz, use Venom Shot, now," Yongchen commanded. From its mouth, the snake-like Fizz unleashed a piercing beam of green energy. The blast slammed directly into the leopard, engulfing it in a crackling, vibrant green light. The force of the attack was immense, sending the creature reeling backward. "Lily, go!" Yongchen yelled, seizing the opportunity. "On it," she confirmed with determination. Trapped in crackling yellow energy from the previous assault, the leopard plummeted through the air. At the same time, Lily, wreathed in fiery orange power, shot down from above, delivering a final decisive strike with her sword. As the dust settled, Yongchen stood triumphantly over the defeated beast, a proud smile on his face. The moment of victory was short-lived, however, as figures in white hurried past him toward Zhang. "We are so sorry, are you hurt?" they asked with their voices filled with concern as they wondered why the supposedly controlled crystal beast had gone berserk. Amidst the debris, the chief examiner approached with calm authority, silencing the chatter. A little bewildered, Yongchen offered a hesitant greeting. The chief examiner's gaze, however, was fixed on Lily with intense curiosity. "Could she be the legendary humanoid crystal beast?" she murmured while Yongchen stood protectively by Lily's side. "We need to get her to the lab for a checkup." Inside a sterile high-tech facility, the chief examiner reviewed data from her instruments. Yongchen stood anxiously beside a futuristic glass tube where unconscious Lily floated, with Fizz waiting patiently at his feet. "Incredible," the chief examiner breathed, looking up from her screen. "I've never seen a humanoid crystal beast like this one. It's a completely new type." "Is she the only one?" Yongchen asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. "I can't be certain," the examiner replied thoughtfully, "but in all our years, our organization has never documented one." To illustrate her point, she carefully picked up a glowing blue orb and pressed a button, causing it to pulse with pink light. From the light, 7 tails emerged, a stunning crystal beast enveloped in vibrant kink energy. "You see, 7 tails is the closest we've ever seen to a human form, but Lily is on another level." 7 tails struck a dramatic pose, then leaned in close to an overwhelmed Yongchen, her many tails fanning out behind her. "She seems to like you," the examiner noted with a smile. "You must be quite unique to attract this much attention." Suddenly, Yongchen's focus shifted. "Fizz, are you okay?" he asked, noticing his snake-like beast was glowing intensely. Before he could get an answer, a system panel materialized in the air, confirming his realization. Fizz was evolving. She was ascending from a newborn rank to a soldier rank, gaining a new skill in the process. Fizz was engulfed in brilliant pink energy, her form shifting and growing. She emerged larger, more powerful, and pulsing with vibrant light. "Just as the data predicted," the chief examiner said, watching with 7 tails, "it seems they evolved by gaining experience through battle." Yongchen reached out and gently petted the newly evolved Fizz, while Lily, now awake, looked on in astonishment. "Crystal beasts evolve by gaining experience," the chief examiner explained, showing them a ranking chart, "but the path isn't the same for every beast. Some evolve differently than others of the same type." "Then why haven't I evolved?" Lily asked, confused. "I've been in plenty of battles." "That's what makes you so special," the examiner speculated. "Some naturally powerful beasts like you might require far more experience to reach their next stage." She then explained that evolved beasts like Fizz should be stored in special capsules for safety and transport. "Capsules? I hear those are expensive," Yongchen said with a grimace. "You'll get a discount later on. For now, take these," she said, handing him a few.
As a hand reached for Fizz, young Chen activated a capsule, and with a swirl of red energy, the newly evolved beast was safely stored away. Well, that makes things easier, he sighed in relief. Lily, however, looked absolutely horrified. No way, I am not going in one of those things, she declared. Young Chen just grinned slyly. Relax, nobody said you had to. With the day's excitement concluded, the chief examiner stood confidently. Young Chen, you've passed the written and practical exams. You are now officially a junior crystal beast master. She leaned in, an interested glint in her eye. I'm very interested in humanoid crystal beasts. Visit the lab often, and if you happen to find any more, there will be a generous reward. I'll think about it, young Chen stammered. With the tests finally behind them, he and Lily walked out of the Crystal Beast test hall. A sense of accomplishment filled the air. Becoming a Crystal Beast master meant money and freedom. You finally came out, a sharp voice called. It was Jang. She had been waiting the whole time. She wanted to thank you for saving me, she explained, looking down with a blush. My performance was embarrassing. My family has a motto. We always repay our debts. Folding her hands, she looked up bravely. So go ahead, name your request. As long as it's not too much, I'll do it. Young Chen started to sweat, his mind racing with thoughts of unlimited money and the wealth this girl must come from. But looking at her earnest face, he hesitated. How about we just start by being friends? Jang's face turned beet red, her eyes widening in disbelief. Friends? She stammered, completely misinterpreting his words as a romantic confiscation. I'll think about it, she shouted joyfully before running off into the distance, leaving young Chen watching in amused confusion. Later that night, as stars twinkled over the city, Lily and young Chen lay in their beds lost in thought. Chen couldn't stop wondering why the leopard went berserk or who the high-ranking chief examiner K-Young really was. Deciding not to overthink it, he closed his eyes to sleep. But in the quiet of the room, the capsule holding Fizz began to glow. With a soft pop, she materialized, her form shimmering. She looked at him with an intense, playful smile. Master, she called out softly. Fizz? Young Chen sat bolt upright, completely shocked. Energy flared around her as she leaned in close. I want to sleep with you, Master. Chapter 3 ends here. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment. Your support boosts our morale.